Alright, so I have my water going for the pasta. We're going to do the fettuccine that we made earlier first. Again, it's only going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. Once it's in the water, you got to make sure you give it a good stir. You don't want it getting cooked together. You kind of want it separate strands. And again, we're only looking for it 2-3 minutes, and then it's done. We're not really going to get that al dente because it's not dry pasta. We might get a little bit of it, but not a lot of it. It's still going to be a pretty soft and delicate pasta due to the fact that it is a homemade pasta that we are cooking within the same day that we made it. Alright. Again, I'm just stirring and gathering and lifting and pulling the pasta so that it doesn't get cooked into a big ball. And then with this pasta, you don't pour this into a strainer, alright? You gotta scoop it out with your spaghetti fork or a slotted spoon of some type. We don't really want to do anything like pouring, because the pouring is going to be very delicate. It's not going to be, sorry, it's going to be very hard on the delicate pasta itself. So we want to make sure that it stays together. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having a bowl with a strainer already in it, and then I'm going to be pulling it straight from the pot into the strainer and letting it drain a little bit. Alright, it's been about 1.5 minutes, so we got another 1.5 minutes it looks like to go. And then what we're going to do too is I'm actually going to help show you guys how to set up these pasta dishes so they look really good. Alright. So pasta's looking really good. I'm actually thinking, you know what, it's about done, so I'm going to bring my bowl over. I'm just going to do a couple drains. Let it drain there. And then I'm going to pop it in the bowl. Again, don't want to pour it. We want to be very gentle with it. Bring it over. Make sure we get all that pasta out. Alright. Put the lid back on that. I'm actually going to use that water again. We have a ravioli stew as well. So, once we've got our pasta out, we're going to work on plating this. Okay. Now for this pasta, we're actually going to be using a ragu I made. I used a tomato sauce that I built in an earlier video, and then I made it into a ragu. Alright. But we're going to put a bed of fresh baby spinach down first. And the nice thing about that spinach is that it takes very minimal heat to cook it. So what we can do is we just put the spinach down, right? And then we take a pair of tongs and we grab our pasta. About a serving's worth of pasta, and we bring it over and we just kind of twirl it onto your greens. Alright, I'm I'm going to drizzle a little bit of oil on it. And then I'm going to bring our sauce over, our ragu that we made. And it's a nice, hot, fresh ragu from that tomato sauce. I added ground beef to it, a little bit more garlic and salt because I want more pop on that. But it's a nice, hearty tomato sauce now. And we're just going to put that right on top. Alright, we're going to hit it with a little bit of fresh Parmesan, a little bit of fresh dried herbs that I put in the ricotta cheese earlier. And then remember that ricotta cheese earlier mix? I have it here still. So we're going to add a small dollop right on top. Alright. And now we have our ragu pasta with the homemade fettuccine on a bed of fresh spinach. Alright, so that was that one. Give me a second, I'll be right back, and then we'll do the raviolis. Alright, I'm back here. I've got my water going again. I've got my raviolis that I'm going to be putting in here. I'm not going to be using the spaghetti fork. I'm going to be using a slotted spoon to work with these. Just because I don't want to puncture them. And again, it's about 2 to 3 minutes for the pasta to be completely cooked through and the filling to be cooked as well. But the idea being that once the whole ravioli is floating at the top of the water, we can pull it out because it is done cooking. Alright? And again, I'm going to be very gentle with these. I don't want to puncture them, but I don't want them to stick together. Because these are very, very delicate because of the filling that we put inside. Alright? I know it may look like they're floating at the moment, it's just the water boiling. I'm actually waiting for it to completely float. Again, 2 to 3 minutes. We're looking at this. They're looking nice. None of them have bursted yet, so they close really well. Again, I'm being very gentle with these. I don't want to break them. You know, once you've made something and you want to make sure you've got it to completion. It would be really upsetting if these were to break or anything right now, since I spent so much time on getting these made. Alright, but we've got a couple that are actually floating by themselves now, so I'm going to take them out. Make sure all the water is drained off of them. Be very, very careful, because what I'm going to do is one by one, I'm going to drizzle some oil so they don't stick to each other. Not a lot of oil, just enough so I know that it won't stick to the one that it's sitting next to or on top of. Alright, I think this is the last one. So there we are. Put a lid on this, turn that off. Alright, now let's show you how to plate this one. With this one, I sauteed up some spinach. So we're going to be using some sauteed spinach. I made the bechamel sauce earlier that I turned into the semi-alfredo beurre blanc sauce. So we're going to be using that sauce, which is right here. Okay. And this dish doesn't have a meat in the sauce or inside the ravioli, so I'm actually going to be using a smoked salmon. Alright, smoked salmon is really good, nice and salty, goes really great with cream sauces, but overall, I mean, it's just really, really good. So yeah, I'm eating some right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our sauteed spinach. I'm going to put that in a small pile near this one corner. And I've taught you guys this, that you need to choose your plates or choose your serving dish according to your food. Alright, next I'm going to take some raviolis. See, they're not sticking to each other. See, they're nice and workable. And remember, we got to work in groups of odds when we're dealing with things like this. So I'm going to focus on probably 5 raviolis for this dish. Okay. And then from here, our sauce is next. Okay. So we're going to take our sauce, our nice semi-alfredo beurre blanc that we made from a bechamel sauce. It's going to be a nice and cheesy, creamy sauce. And we're just going to gently lay it across. I don't want to cover all of the food. I want everyone to see the colors and the contrast. Since this is my plate, I don't mind doing this, but make sure you guys use it how. Alright. Then I'm going to take some of that smoked salmon. I'm going to break it apart here. Okay. And I'm just going to gently roll some up. Alright. Again, I'm going to top this with a little bit of cheese, but over here on the green and the orange, and then those fresh dried herbs that I made, we'll go right across the top. Okay, don't go old school, please. Don't be putting the parsley all over the plates, okay? And then again, I'm going to take some of that ricotta that we made, because this is going to be really good because we made it for this specifically, right? We're going to put it right here on the spinach. Bring it up a little bit. Okay. And now we have a fresh Italian ravioli with smoked salmon and a beurre blanc semi-alfredo sauce. Alright? I hope you guys enjoy this.